Yeah, I thought we played really hard. Right from the beginning, we forced a lot of turnovers and got 10 loose balls, got some rebounds. So even though the threes weren't going, we were playing well. We were making strides, putting a lot of pressure on them. So it was a good start to the game.
Dennis, left-hand side.
Round 4, especially with last series when you dropped 2 of 3 at Oracle, how important was it to take care of business here at home, especially with a matchup like this?
Well, I mean, this is always what you want to do. When you've got home court, if you can get the first 2, it puts you in good shape. But with the awareness that you're just getting started. Nothing has happened yet, so we got to go down to Houston and be ready to play because you know how good they are. We know how hard they're going to play.
Third row, left-hand side.
Athletic. Steph's finger, did it look bad there? And did you maybe notice that he was having a little trouble dribbling with his left hand? Do you have any concerns moving forward with that?
It looked bad when he came off the floor. I mean, I looked at the finger and I was just hoping it was just a dislocation and not a break. And fortunately, that's what it turned out to be. So as far as whether it bothered him, you can ask him that. I thought he did some great things for us and fueled us, and may not have shot the 3 that well, but played a great game for us.
Second row, left.
Medina Bay Area and his group, in light of what was happening in Game 1 about the conversation with the officiating, what do you think how the guys handled all those things tonight?
I didn't even notice the officiating. I don't think anybody did, and I think that's the best compliment you can give them. They did a great job, and this game was just about basketball.
Steve, Janie McCauley from AP. As much emphasis as you put on, taking care of the ball, how much did you like? You guys cut the turnovers down.
Yeah, we did a really good job with that. Only 12 for the game, 3 of them in the last couple of minutes, which was a little disappointing, but we escaped. We've got to do a better job of protecting the ball. Both games now we've had a little bit of a problem there, but all in all, to finish the game with 12 turnovers to their 18, 18 offensive boards, so we won the possession battle. Got 14 more field goal attempts in them, so that's a big deal. So our guys did a great job.
Steve, Ron Frederick from the Chronicle. Can you articulate sort of what makes Draymond so good at that lob pass? Sort of it seems like a short alley-oop to Iguodala or Looney or whomever. He's done it a lot, obviously, throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, well, he's grown so comfortable playing that high screen with Steph, and with the amount of attention Steph gets, sometimes Draymond gets that ball in the pocket and it's 4-on-3, and with the lineup with Andre out there with 2 shooters on the wings, it puts a lot of stress on the defense, and Draymond has great touch on that lob pass, so it's fun to see when they connect like that.
Steve, Joe Fonzie, KTVU. You guys have had times when you weren't thrilled with the defensive intensity to start a game. You forced 9 turnovers in the first quarter. You had to be happy with the way it came out. Defensive intensity right away was great.
I was really pleased with our first quarter. I thought the Rockets did a great job kind of hanging in there, especially when James got hurt and missed some time. But I think this is how this series is going to go. We can play well, but it's going to be really hard to pull away from Houston with the number of threes they take and the number of talented offensive players they have. So, despite that quick start, we were fighting them off the whole game. They made 17 threes, so it's a hell of a win against a great team that shot the ball really well from the three-point line.
Second right here.
Arspander, the Maven. You had mentioned Andre at age 35 playing so well. He seemed to come out really fast this game and give you that burst to sort of take control.
Yeah, Andre is, he doesn't look 35 to me. He's just an incredible athlete. And what makes Andre special is, when you combine that athleticism with that brain, now you got a hell of a player. So I say it all the time. I'm lucky to coach him. We're lucky to have him. He ties up a lot of loose ends for us. He does so many things for us, and I thought he was brilliant tonight.
You go with Jerebko. I know it was early because of Steph's injury, but you definitely did you have a plan to get Jerebko in there, and how did you think you did when you gave him those minutes?
Yeah, I think Jonas is a good matchup in this series. I think he came right in and gave us a good lift, a couple buckets and some rebounds, and so we were, we were planning on getting him in there at some point, but Steph's early injury allowed us to plug him in pretty early, and I thought he was great.
Right-hand side.
I guess that's me, Shelley Smith from ESPN. Have you ever played after getting poked in the eye?
No.
Never mind.
All right. When you're on the bench, cheering. You just cheer the guys on. One time, some of my teammate kind of helped. Yeah.
Joe Morgan, Sport News. Steve, you guys have really taken away the lobs for Capella. How important has that been for you guys just defensively, and have you guys really put an emphasis on that?
It's a big deal. He's tough to handle on that rim run because of the talent in the backcourt with Chris and James, especially throwing that lob to him. I thought Draymond and Kevin in particular both did a great job. Clay made a huge play late by coming over from the weak side. I said it before the series, it has to be a 5-man game when you play Houston to guard them. You got to have all 5 guys engaged. So our weak side came over and did a good job tonight.
Second row center.
So I moved to 48 here in the Bay Area. Steph again had 5 fouls and Kevin did too. What did you see of their game defensively? They seemed solid, but they were non-contesting as much as or reaching in as you wanted to. How do you see them play today?
They were both great. I mean, the foul trouble is what it is. There's some tough ones. We're playing a very crafty team who knows how to draw fouls. Steph got himself in a couple of awkward positions and picked up a couple that changed our rotation in the third quarter. So our guys did a good job playing through that, and I'm confident that we can get Steph to correct that and stay on the floor when we need him out there.
You jumped into this series very quickly after the Clippers series, and these 2 games were pretty quick also. I was wondering if this would be the game you would be concerned about fatigue, and if you have a rest after this. So, was that a concern?
Not really. I was more worried about game 1 just because of the 2 injuries with Steph and Clay. When we made it through game 1 in good shape, I felt much better about coming into tonight, and now we've got a few days off, which I think will really help our guys. So, we're in good shape, but long way to go.
What was your view on the double technical with Draymond?
Well, the problem with the double tech is that it's added to the total, which can lead to a suspension. And so 2 guys, it's a competitive atmosphere out there. It's a playoff game, so guys are going to get tangled up. And if the way to handle it is to call a double technical, I think the league needs to consider that. And I just, every time there's a double, there's an altercation, it's a double technical. Well, if you're playing in the playoffs for a few rounds, those add up. So Draymond's now at 4, I think. So. We'll talk to the league and we'll see if they'll rescind it, and I'm sure the process will go as usual, and we'll see what happens.
Steve, with Durant coming out of the gates, taking the charge against Harden, and then getting the block shortly thereafter, how important was that setting a tone defensively from the 10?
Yeah, Kevin was great. I mean, right away. Picking up Capella in the lane on a roll, forcing a travel, drawing the charge, as you mentioned. I thought his defensive energy was fantastic right away, and he was, he's Kevin, so he's going to score. We know he's going to score, but he does so much more to impact the game. It's the block shots, the rebounds, the assists. So he's an amazing player.
Great, thank you.